Good evening, viewers. My name is Melvin Metzger. First off, Ramadan Mubarak to all my Muslim viewers. Welcome to the Melvin Metzger Show, hosted on the Then and Now media platform in London, England. My show is diverse and will feature on a range of topics, including music, fashion, legal matters, relationships, health, education, religion, media, and sports. On this show, as I engage guests from around the world, they will be able to tell us their own stories in their own words, their successes, achievements, and their challenges, which they faced along the way. The Melvin Metzger Show aims to inform, share ideas, and motivate the next generation. Please like the show page, share.
Goodbye.
Please like the show page, share to your friends, invite your friends, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend. My guest tonight is an entertainment pioneer, one of the godfathers of the entertainment industry in Sierra Leone. He's a broadcast journalist who has worked for the American service of the Voice of America for over 15 years. He's the presenter of African Beats, a reverend, a DJ, and an award-winning actor. Mr. David Buakei Vandy, welcome to the Melvin Metzger Show.
Thank you for having me, Melvin. It's such a great honor for me to be on your platform today.
Yes, I must say you're looking, as we say over here, you're looking very dapper.
Well, thank you. Well, I was actually warned before coming on that you should be really formal. So I tried to say, okay, let me go and search my wardrobe and see what my host is going to look like. And let me try to match up.
I think I'm playing the catching up game here. I'm playing catch up. Right. David, you've achieved so much in your illustrious career, and you've worked in both Sierra Leone and the United States, which has afforded you a wealth of experience in your career. Tell us a bit about your early years growing up in Sierra Leone and the schools you attended, both primary and secondary.
Wow. Well, actually, I was born in Freetown. Yeah, I still remember the street. I was born at number 10 Dugan Street. I still remember the street.
Okay.
So I know you. Do you remember the street you were born?
Me? No, I was born in Islington, London.
Okay, all right. Anyway, I attended school in Freetown, started at the St. Anthony Primary School, and then went to St. Edward's Primary School before I was winched over to the provinces to go to boarding school. Okay. And then, that was in Tama. And after a while, I came back to Sierra Leone, was at the government model before I took my GCO levels at the government municipal secondary school at Buakei.
Okay.
After taking my O levels, at that time, my dad was beginning to get sick. So there was no way for me to penetrate the doors of the university. So I had to start working. And by then I was actually dancing. I was a dancer at that time.
Were you a very good dancer?
Oh yeah, man! People used to call me. How do we call it? Endurance, because I would dance 24/7. I don't get tired.
Wow.
So there was a day I was at the NP nightclub by Cotton Tree. By then it was BP, and I just finished dancing on the stage, and I came to sit at the bar, and there was a gentleman, an elderly gentleman, sitting next to me. And then he turned to me and said, you're good. What do you do? Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I just finished my secondary school. I just took my O levels, but I'm not doing anything now. This is what I do. This is where I make some money to take home. I said, would you like to work? I said, why not? As I wait. So he gave me his card, and the next day I became a solicitor's clerk.
Whoa, like that?
Just like that.
Mr. Endurance.
And he was the late Donald George, Queen's Counsel, okay. And the guy was so good at law. And, for me to be his personal assistant at that time, to be his clerk, wherein I take every report that comes in. You know, it was a pride for me, even to go to court with him. You know, to go to court with him. Whenever he has cases, I have to go to court with him. I'll be the first person to go there to set up everything, to make sure all his files are in order. And, you know, and then actually, after a few years, I started working for the Ministry of Health. I worked for the Ministry of Health at the Connaught Hospital for over 7 years as a medical records clerk. And then I was still into show business, actually. I was still into show business, hosting shows. And then I was a theater actor too. I was an actor that does plays. I am a founding member of the Kailondo Theater, which was formed in 1982. I actually started full-time drama in 1978, you know, with the Sierra Magnum X Theater. And then all of a sudden, I was admired for my presentation. You know, I became a show presenter from the dancing. I graduated to show presenting, you know, and then I was presenting shows at different nightclubs like the Cool and Cozy, Aphrodite's, NPK's, Palladio, you name it, all those places. And I got a contract with the Bintumani Hotel, you know, to host a show on Sunday. And it was at the Bintumani Hotel that I was hosting by then in 1990, the first FM radio station was opened at the Bintumani Hotel, the Atlantic Broadcasting Corporation, ABC FM 94. And we had two guys there, Martin Davies from the BBC and Jackie Chambers. And they were up there and they saw me and they came down and say, hey, man, we would like to have you on the show. We'd like to have you on the radio. I said, well, why not? If I can get the training, why not? And so I was giving some intensive training. So that was how my broadcasting career started in 1990. And then I was the first Sierra Leonean to work after midnight on radio in Sierra Leone, because by then we had just the SLBS, radio and television closes at 12 midnight. So I had to come in after midnight. So you can imagine what that means for a rookie to start broadcasting after midnight. You have to keep the people up. Yeah. And man, trust me, I played the game.
You have to be good at your job.
You got to be real good. And I always say it is good to be good. And I knew I was at that time because I kept people up. The pubs will not sleep. They will wait for me. When I come on, they would switch up their own music and tune on to me. And so it was good. And so got into broadcasting. And I was there until 1992 when the NPRC coup took place. And then I was called over to the National Service at the SLBS. You know, I got in there, started with a Star Parade, a one-day show on a Saturday. And then before you know it, I had a whole week. By then we had Violetta Ludecker as the Director General of the SLBS, and I started the Wiki Waki show. The Wiki Waki show comes on in the afternoon. It was like Monday through Friday. Through that, I went into television, did the musical mix, did other music shows here and there. You know, before after the 1997 AFRC coup, I had to join 98.1. Okay. You know, I went to 98.1, and then we came into Freetown, and then it was became the marketing officer of 98.1. I was hosting and presenting and producing shows, reading the news, translated the news in Creole. I did all of that. Yep.
So and then fast track from a dancing floor to straight into broadcasting.
Straight into broadcasting, man, and it was a great career for me. And from 98.1, I got a call to the United Nations radio in Sierra Leone. So I worked with the United Nations. I became the programs coordinator, and I was also hosting my own programs, reading the news, writing, producing. And so from the United Nations mission in Sierra Leone, I became the general manager of Sky Radio 106.6 FM.
Okay.
Yeah, so I became the general manager of Sky Radio 106.6 FM before migrating to the United States. And then I joined the Voice of America in 2003. To date, I have been hosting African Beat and it has become one of the best African music shows across the world.
Okay, right. So you have been, was this a planned career? Your career, was it a planned career? Is this something you sat down and said, this is what I want to do? Or it was just by accident?
No. You see, when I was growing up, I actually wanted to be a lawyer.
Okay.
Because I like to talk. Yeah, I like to talk. But, you know, as we say, you as a man, you will always propose, you know, that this is what I want to do. But God has his own way of taking care of business. He has his own plan. You know, since you were born, he's got his plans for you. You know where he's going to lead you. So, well, when I got the opportunity to start broadcasting at the FM 94, you know, I decided to say, well, this is also another talking career. Why don't I just get to it?
Just talk.
Let me just talk.
Wow, it's a great journey. I'm gonna take you back a bit. How did the MCing and DJing come into play? I know you did the radio, but MCing at public events. At
public event, well, because I actually love music. Yeah. You know, I love music. I use music to pass on messages. And you know, my first DJ career started not on the radio, but at a nightclub. Okay. You know, there was a night, we opened a nightclub at Charles Street called Kings and Queens. You know, I was there, and there was another club right at the junction of Charles Street and Dundas Street. I don't remember the name, but the guy who owns it was called Balogu. Yeah, so I was also playing there, you know. And then they opened a French discotheque, Lagoon Bleu, that was open on Aberdeen Road going towards the beach. It was on the left-hand side before you get to Paddy's area, you know. And we went for audition there, and I was chosen as the best person to run the nightclub, an international nightclub. Wow. So that's how my DJ career actually started, you know, going into that. But I was more focused on using the microphone and presenting, but blending both actually helped me before I got into radio. You know, so it was a good trip. Okay,
we're live with Mr. Entertainment himself, David Buakei Vandy, on the Melvin Metzger show. Please share this broadcast, like our pages, and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend. You've been in broadcasting, David, for about 30 years now, and that's how your breakthrough came about. From you met the right people, and you wanted to be a lawyer, but then you ended up into broadcasting. Getting a job with the Voice of America, was it a natural progression for you, or was it like a new challenge?
It was not a challenge. It was just natural, you know. Natural. It was like, you know, I can remember when I got a call to work for the United Nations. Yeah. People ask me, how did you get in there? I said, I don't know. I just got a call. You know, like I said, it is good to be good. Yes. Anything you're doing, just make sure you dedicate yourself to it. Yeah. Give out your best, and people will see that ability in you. Yeah. And when it's time to call you, people will point a finger, hey, why don't you call this person? Yes. And so that was how I got a call to work for the United Nations. And same with the VOA. I was here in the Washington, D.C. area, and one of my former colleagues, a sister that we worked together at the SLBS, Josephine Kamara, was working for VOA at that time. And another colleague, Francois Nsengeyova, he's late now, from Rwanda, I think. We worked together at the United Nations. He was also there, and the late Shaman Brown. So there, when this opening was there, I didn't even know. They actually put in the word. They say, hey, there's this guy that we work together in Sierra Leone called David Vandy, and he's here in Washington. Yeah. They said, well, why don't you call him? And so that was how I walked into DC. And since I walked in there, I did not look back.
Wow. That's a great journey. Describe your show to the viewers, so you can at least get some new people who've never tuned into your show before. What is your show about? What's your show like?
At the Voice of America?
Yes.
It's a music show. It's an African music show. It's a music show that showcases African talents, especially the younger talents that don't have a platform. You know, most of these big talents, they have platforms where their music can be played and all this. But with Voice of America, we make sure we look out for younger talents, African talents, that we can showcase on the show. Voice of America African Beat is the only music show, entertainment show in the world on a platform like that that can broadcast African music for 1 hour nonstop.
Okay.
And when we call on some of these artists, when they come into Washington area, we grant them interviews. You know, sometimes we call them even in their country of origin, wherever they are seated, we call them there and we conduct interviews with them. So that's what the African Beat is about, is to make sure we spread the African music across the world.
So that's good, giving a break to new artists and giving them airplay as well.
Yes.
98.1, and you mentioned 106.6, and now VOA. Working for all these stations must carry a lot of contrasting experiences along the way. Can you share those experiences for us for working for all these different stations?
Well, with 98.1, it was like we were like messengers.
Okay.
Bringing the message. You see, when we talk about the good news,
yes,
everybody was looking up to 98.1 at that time during the war, you know, for solace. It was 98.1. When people want to hear the truth, when people want to hear what can I do next, when people want to hear where can I go and hide, when people want to hear everything is all right,
okay,
it was 98.1. And we were like, at 98.1, it was like everybody that listens to radio, when they want to ask questions, they ask 98.1.
Okay.
Because they believe in 98.1. You understand?
Yes.
And with Sky Radio, I was there as general manager. You know, even though I was going on air, but I was there as general manager, and I used my past experience in working for the national service, working for the ABC, working for 98.1. I use that, working for the United Nations. I use that as a springboard to share my experience with younger broadcasters that are coming on. And one thing I know about me is that I learned the hard way, and I am a disciplinarian. So when I became general manager, it's all about discipline, because this job is about discipline. If you're not disciplined, you cannot do it. Anything, in fact, you have to do in life, you have to be disciplined about it.
Yeah.
You know, so with Sky Radio, it was just a smooth ride, and I thank God for passing through that. And I thank also Andrew Kroma, who saw that ability in me to say, I want you to come and head this one.
So you were handpicked for that role. That's great.
Oh yeah, well, that has been my favor, you know.
Yeah. You've been a very highly favored man, We'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to favor. We'll get to favor in a minute. You're popular. You're very popular, this jockey, as a DJ, an MC, and a broadcast journalist of long standing. How do you keep a balance between your professional work and your family life?
Well, my family, first of all, they know what I do.
Yes.
And so they accepted me along with what I do. So most times what I am involved in, my family is involved in.
Okay.
If I am going to MC, you are going to be there.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't hide it from you to say, oh, yeah. Because the first thing about me is that David Vandy is not a person that can hide. No way. So wherever I'm going,
yeah,
my wife is right next to me.
Okay.
You know, and when I go, I let the people know that, hey, she's here.
She's here.
Yes.
The boss is here.
So I'm able to, this is just me. This is just what I do. So they know about it, and they accepted it, and I don't have a problem with that.
Are any of the kids, you've got children, right?
Yeah.
Are any of them involved in journalism? Because this would have been a direct route for them to a career.
Well, I tell you, I lost my first daughter about 4 years ago.
Oh, my sympathy. I'm sorry about that.
Davida, yeah, no problem. And Davida was me. Davida was me. She died when she was 27 years old. But when I say she was me, that means everything I'm doing now, Davida did. She wasn't broadcasting. She wasn't acting. She was a talker. She does everything. So yes, she followed my footsteps And now my second daughter, that is David Net, she's working with the AYV.
Okay.
So it's like some of them are taking where their father is, maybe my retirement age is calling. Okay. So they are going to take over from that.
They're going to take over. My sympathy, I'm sorry, yeah. My sympathy to your family. You also lost a friend, Michael Charlie Hinga, Dr.
Michael
H.
Charlie Hinga, yes.
Michael Charlie Hinga, yes.
Yeah, Michael was
was
a brother. We grew up together. We went to St. Edward's Primary School together. Used to spend time at their house. Her mom, my aunt, used to take care of us when we were going to school. In fact, she was the person that actually dragged me from St. Anthony to St. Edward's Primary School.
Okay.
And our careers were always crossing paths. Even when I went to the provinces, when I went to boarding school, when I came back in our young adult life, we met in the social circle again. We were dancing together. We were miming together. We went into broadcasting. We met at the SLBS. So there was a lot of things we were doing together. So it was, I just pray God for his soul. May God grant his soul eternal rest.
Yeah, may his soul rest in peace. Right. When last were you on air, David?
Like every day.
Every day. It's the president's birthday today. Did you wish him a happy birthday on here?
Oh, I sent him a message.
Okay.
I sent him a birthday message.
Okay, that's good.
And if you can allow me, I'll just say happy birthday to you.
Go ahead,
Mr. President, His Excellency Julius Madabi of Sierra Leone. Happy birthday. I wish you God's blessings, and I pray that God will continue to give you wisdom to rule your people wisely. God bless you.
Thank you. Okay, we move on. Sierra Leone music. I mean, you play a lot of music. You new artists, established artists. Is there a conscious biasness towards Sierra Leonean music as we have a preference over other type of Afrobeat, other artists, other music from the continent? Is there a conscious biasness towards Sierra Leone music at the moment?
I don't know about other people.
Yeah.
You see me when I talk,
yes.
I always like to talk about myself.
Yeah.
I always like to make myself the first example. Mm-hmm. If I am to talk about conscious biasness, my own biasness is towards Sierra Leone music. Okay. I love Sierra Leone music. Okay. And I play Sierra Leone music. Okay. I go to parties, I get mad at our DJs because they don't play Sierra Leone music.
That's exactly where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I get mad. And I walk up to them and I tell them, oh, the people, they're not sabi their music, they are not this. If you don't play it, how can the people get to know it?
Exactly.
And, I've been playing music for a long time. I can listen to your music and I tell you how good it is. Yeah. I can listen to your music and I tell you this, listen to your album and I tell you this is what is going to make a hit. Because I've been doing it for a long time. When I became general manager of Sky Radio, the first thing that I did, I put it, should I call it a decree? It's not a military war, but I call it a decree at Sky Radio. I told my staff that from 6 a.m. to 12 noon, anybody who plays any other kind of music other than Sierra Leone music, I'll fire you.
Okay, that's a decree.
and that was the beginning of the rise. Okay. You see, when people are writing the history of Sierra Leone music, some people don't know that. That was the beginning of the rise of Sierra Leone music. When I was doing musical mix at the SLBS, I was the first person to start getting Sierra Leone music videos. I call it cut and join. We didn't have music videos at that time.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
Daddy Saj, the late Onike Macaulay, King Milan, is now the producer of musical mix. Yeah. I used to take them up to Okemori and go to the beach, go here, and we film them. And I come and I lay their music and we make cut and join. People were abusing me in Sierra Leone. Mm-hmm. Why do you put all this kind of a nonsense thing on the radio or on the television? Why don't you bring Michael Jackson? Why don't? Then I said, if we don't give our own,
appreciate our own,
how can they improve?
Yes.
How can they see themselves and see how they can improve in life or their career? Today, everybody is screaming that he's sad. Yeah. Onika is past now. Mm-hmm. King Milan is a senior broadcaster at the SLBS. You understand? But these are people, the great Steady Bongo, all of these people, I brought them to the SLBS and we played Sierra Leone music. And so when I put that law at Sky, every radio you tune to in the morning was playing Sierra Leone music. You go into the taxis, they were playing Sierra Leone music. Everywhere you go, it was Sierra Leone music. So for me, Sierra Leone music, nobody can turn me away from it. One thing I know about music is that the more you play it, the more people hear it, the sweeter it gets to them.
Yes, exactly.
It is not all music that you play today is going to be a hit today.
Yeah.
They play us all of these foreign music from Nigeria, from Ghana, but because you play them every day at every party,
you get used to them.
You get used to them. Yes. So if you play Sierra Leone music every day at every party, people will get used to them. They say, oh, we can't find Sierra Leone music. Did you search for it? Go search for it. At the Voice of America, when I do my show, there is not a day since I started in 2003, I can go back to my archives. Every single day, a Sierra Leone music must be played on that international radio.
Yeah, you have it. You have to give preference to Sierra Leonean music. You have to help us grow on our identity as far as Sierra Leonean music is concerned.
Yeah.
David, what's playing in your car at the moment?
What's playing in my car?
Yes. What's your favorite Sierra Leonean song at the moment? I know you have a lot, but just one or two.
Well, actually, when I was driving here, the song that was playing in my car is it's a gospel song. It's a new one from Sierra Leone. Okay. It is called It Shall Be Permanent.
Oh, It Shall Be Permanent.
It Shall Be Permanent by this guy is called Solo something. And it was done in collaboration with Daniel Bangura. Okay. It's a new song, but it's beautiful. It shall be permanent.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you. Viewers, this is the Melvin Metzger show. We're live. We've got David Buakei Vandy live on our show today. And by virtue of your job, you've interviewed a lot and lots of musicians, celebrities. Which of them have left an indelible impression on you, like an unforgettable experience? Just like now I'm interviewing you, you are my mentor, brother. But I know after this interview, I'm gonna save this for a long time to come. This is a benchmark. I'm gonna save this. Which guest have you interviewed that's left an indelible impression on you, an unforgettable experience?
That would be Yvonne Chaka Chaka of South Africa.
From South Africa. Thank you, Mr. DJ. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. DJ. You know, I can remember when she came the first time, when I talked to her, interviewed her on the show, she came to the United States. We talked lengthily. And well, that first time did not actually touch me. It was the second time when she was coming. Okay. She called me straight from South Africa. Wow. Hey, David, I am coming back to the United States. Do you have a place for me on your show?
Pre-booked.
I said, Yvonne, why not? Why not? Just come in, and I have a place for you. You know, I love to talk to you. You know, so one impression that she left with me was humility.
Okay.
She is such a powerful woman globally, but she's so humble.
Humble, yeah.
That when you are with Yvonne, you would think that she has known you for years. Mm-hmm. She will laugh and play with you as if I have known this person for years. She will not come to your studio and start making as if she just fell from the sky.
Yeah.
No, she was very humble. I think that is one thing that I took from her. That no matter what height you may attain in life, humility goes along
the key. You have to be humble. Yeah. I watched her a few times. My dad worked in Botswana for a few years, so I used to cross over and watch her in South Africa. And Brenda Fassie and Lucky Dube and the rest of them. They're very humble people. By virtue of there's a lot of exuberance which you display and passion. Even you've been on the show for 30 minutes and I can feel the energy and that's radiating through to me as well. Is this something you've always had, or is this something you cultivated or nurtured over the years?
Well, I am a person that has always been full of energy.
Okay.
And even at Voice of America, sometimes they call me to voice for voiceovers just because of my energy. You know, it's like, you know, doing a show.
Yeah.
I always want to make my audience feel what I'm feeling.
Yes.
Because like radio, I call radio one of the craziest jobs on earth. Because you are going to go into that studio all by yourself, you know, especially when you do FM radio.
Yeah.
FM radio is not like the orthodox radio where you have people who will sit there that will put your commercial for you, we put this for you. FM radio, you do it all yourself. Wow. So when you go into that studio, you're at the mercy of the millions of people that are listening to you.
Yeah.
So when you go in there, I always go with that feeling that I am going into the homes of these people. I am going into their cars. I am going to meet them under the palm wine tree, wherever they are, as long as they're tuning to me. So I want to bring out that energy that they will feel through the radio, and they too will be a part of that. So that has always been me.
Great. Right. We move on to religion now, David. You're a reverend.
Yes, sir.
And you're reverend. When did you receive this calling, or when did you decide to become a clergyman?
Well, not that I decided to, my brother.
Say that again.
Not that I decided to.
Okay. It was a calling.
It was, because I used to tell myself, I say, if we get to a point when I am old and gray, and maybe down the road I will end up doing this.
Okay.
But God always has a plan.
Yes.
He always has a plan for us. No matter what we've been through, wherever we've been, whatever life we've been living, he still has a plan. And he's going to execute his plan according to his time.
Yes.
Not according to our time.
No matter how many times you try and run away.
No matter wherever you run, man, when that time comes, he's going to get you. So I was making this boast. Don't worry, when I'm old and gray, that's when I think I'll think about something like this. Not knowing that God was going to call me into his fold at a time when I still have my energy, at a time when I'm still strong, at a time when I still have the voice to propagate his message.
Yeah. And
so in 2016, I got a call. By then, I'm a church person. I grew up in the church. I was an elder in the church, But I got this call, not from my own church pastor, but from two pastors miles away from where I was staying. I live in Virginia and they were living in Maryland.
Okay.
Both of them are late now, Apostle Kofi Akakpo and Pastor Ramatu Akakpo.
Okay.
And they called.
Is it a husband?
Husband and wife, yes.
Yep.
They had a church in Maryland. So they were going on vacation. And what actually happened was that they gave me I got this call. So Pastor Kofi said, "Hey, David, I need to talk to you. We're going on vacation and we've been praying for somebody to take care of the church. But all our prayers have been directed to you. It's like God was sending us to you, your direction." Then I told him, "Pastor, how can you say that?" I say, "God cannot direct you to me. How can I direct you to me when I'm not a pastor?"
Yeah.
They said, "Well, that's what." I said, "Well, anyway, let's talk about this later." A few days later, they called me again. The wife called. "David, the same thing. We've been praying and God is directing us that you should be in charge."
You want to adjust your video? I think it's gone into a background picture.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we good?
Not yet.
Well, I have cleared it. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see anything on
your screen.
Oh, okay.
Yep. That's the picture. Okay.
Good. Is it bad?
Okay, you're back. Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah. All right. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
So I got this second call, and Pastor Ramatu said, "David, God is directing us to you, that you have to come and let's talk." I said, "Okay, well, what you got to do, can you call my pastor by then?"
Okay.
"And tell my pastor what God told you. Maybe he will have something different." So they called and they talked. And then one Thursday, I decided to go to them. And when I went, they were supposed to leave on the Sunday. They took the key to the building and handed it over to me and looked at the congregation and told them, "Hey, this is Brother David. He's going to be in charge. So you give him all the respect and honor." And they were about to leave. And I said, "Who is going to preach?" They said, "We don't know." I said, "Who is going to preach?" They said, "It's up to you. You can find somebody if you can't do it." That was how I got into it, my brother. And it was a December month in 2016 where you have Christmas Day falling on a Sunday, New Year's Day falling on a Sunday, New Year's Eve on a Saturday, and then the first Sunday. So you have to come back to back.
Back to back. What was your first message? Do you remember your first message?
It was a Christmas Day message.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the birth of Christ. And that makes it, I sat down from 11 o'clock at night to 4 a.m. in the morning to prepare that first sermon.
Whoa.
So I thought those pastors were joking when they say they have to prepare their sermon.
Oh, yes, they have to prepare.
But that was what happened. So I got into it, and after a while, in 2018, no, in 19, I got ordained as a full pastor, to full-time ministry.
That's
so when God called me into it, I did not just wait and say, okay, let me just be doing it. Yeah. I decided to go the right way and got ordained. And now I'm an assistant pastor of the Glory of God Sanctuary in Woodbridge, Virginia. And I am the founder and pastor of my own network. That is the Vandy Christian Network that I have just started.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about that, but you touched on that already, the Vandy Christian Network. You see, I've done my homework. I've done my research.
I know.
You know, the name David Vandy is synonymous with Sierra Leone entertainment. How do you combine the entertainment and your duties as a clergyman? How does that work?
Well, it is, I would not say it is a difficult thing, because maybe the way I perceive things and the way I look at things is different from other people.
Okay.
I look at myself, not because I've been called to be a pastor or I'm a pastor, then I will look down on the other people that I've been with in entertainment. No, that is not my calling. Mm-hmm. I should not abandon them. Yeah. And I will not abandon them. Yeah. Because as pastors, we keep telling people that for lack of knowledge, our people perish.
They perish, yeah.
And so if God has looked at me in that circle and has lifted me up and put me in this position, it is my responsibility as a pastor to go back to my brothers and sisters and let them see the reflection of God in my life.
You. Yes, yes.
And let me see how I can get them to say, hey, I am having a service today. I'm going to invite you. Can you come? Come and let's worship together. I'm not going to force you to change your ways. It is God that changed people.
Yeah.
It is not me.
Yeah.
I will pray, yes. But for your change to happen, you have to accept Jesus as your Lord and personal Savior. Mm-hmm. But God sent me to be the mediator, to be the encourager. And so if I abandon my people, because some people say, oh, now that you're a pastor, you're not supposed to be acting anymore. You're not. Well, this is just coming from our Sierra Leonean people.
Yes.
But the one thing about Sierra Leonean people, when other people do it from other countries, they admire them.
It's okay.
Yes.
It's welcome.
Oh, they admire them. In fact, they will even go and lie down under them. But because you are a Sierra Leonean and they know you, would I say David Vandy for the pastor? Somebody said David Vandy the pastor, me said for the pastor. And I said, we're not on the same one.
No, different.
We're all different. Mm-hmm. We're all different. Mm-hmm. And God has got a way of working in our lives. Yeah. He's got his own way, how he's going to do things. So I am not going to abandon people that have been working. So somebody, you're not supposed for the act anymore. You're not supposed for the this anymore. And I said, no. I said, my calling is different from your own. If you were God call you, he said if you abandon the people that won't have been there, me, he not tell me so.
Yeah.
When Jesus came, if he had wanted to, he would have gone just to the big Pharisees or all these men of big knowledge in the synagogue. Mm. But he went straight to the fisherman and said, come and I will make you fishers of men.
Yes. Come as you are. Come as you
Come
are.
as you are.
Yeah.
He knew who Judas was.
Yeah.
But he called him anyway.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, sure.
He knew who all those disciples were, but he called them anyway. He knew who I was, but he called me. He knew who you were before you became a pastor. He called you anyway. So why do you want to look at those other people and just abandon them? Say, because you are now a pastor, you cannot mix with those. No, Jesus was mixing with everybody.
Yes. So I'm happy you're following in the footsteps of our Lord Jesus Christ, which is very good. Now, I get a bit confused, as so do some of our viewers. What's the difference between a pastor and a reverend? I get the two confused. I still can't tell the difference. And I don't want to check my Oxford dictionary.
Now you want me to start thinking. Okay, first of all, this is my own opinion. Okay,
Yeah.
it's my own knowledge. Other people may have different interpretation. But when they call you a pastor, you are like a shepherd.
Okay.
You are like a leader of a congregation. People can come together. Somebody that your congregation look up to, they respect you.
Okay.
You understand? So a shepherd is somebody who take care of flocks. So you are a religious leader. Reverend, to me, is a title.
Okay.
Given to religious leaders. It is a title. To be a reverend is a title. As pastor, you can be called a reverend because people reverence you. You understand?
Okay. Yes.
So it's a title that goes for religious leaders like pastor or reverend. But when you are a pastor, you have a responsibility to take care of God's people. You are the shepherd
of the sheep,
the flock. So you have to make sure you pray for people, you encourage them, you counsel them. This is your role. Like I said, this is me. Some other people may think differently. I'm not speaking for other people.
Yeah,
I'm speaking for me.
Yeah. So there you have it. The difference between a reverend and a pastor. A reverend is a title, and a pastor looks after the flock. It's like a shepherd looks after the sheep, counseling and various other things. Your new movie, Recompense, that was done with other actors and actresses. I think Wistina Taylor is also in that movie. When is the premiere for your new movie? And what's the movie about?
Well, Recompense, it's a mixture. It has Sierra Leoneans, Nigerians, Cameroonians, and Americans, all mixed.
Okay.
One top Nigerian comedian that is in Atlanta, Ellen Paul, is also part of that. Winstina, myself, and a few other people. Okay. Recompense, it's actually done by BSK Studios. BSK Studios is owned by a Sierra Leonean here in the United States. Okay. It's an ultra-modern film studio, the first of its kind, owned by a Sierra Leonean here in the United States. The lady is called Bernadette Kamara. Okay. She owns the BSK Studios. So that's the first production out of BSK Studios. Okay. Recompense. It's about everyday family life. Some of the struggles that African homes go through here in the United States of America. Well, let's say in the diaspora. Yeah. Let's put it that way. Because some of the things that happen here will not happen back home. Yeah. You know that.
Yes. Very well.
They will not happen back home. So I'll just leave it as that. Yeah. Recompense is coming out sometime in June. The premiere is going to start sometime in June, and maybe we can take it across. And maybe you never know. London will come in.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're always welcome to London, and I'll bring you back again when the movie is out, so we can do another interview.
Definitely.
Tell us about some of the awards that you've won since you became an actor. Are there too many to mention?
There are too many. Because if I want to talk about that, I'll go back to my broadcasting days in Sierra Leone and start talking about the Progress Awards and the awards at Frabe College, and then coming down. But as a theater actor in Sierra Leone, I've won a lot. Here in the United States, I've won Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, and what again? I have won International Broadcaster Award. I've won a Superior Broadcasting Award here in the United States, even with the Voice of America. So those are just a few, but there's a whole lot, and I can't go through all of them.
Have you got a cabinet where you keep all of them? Do you have a special?
Yes. I have all, because I have to keep those. My grandchildren will have to see them. Say, so Grandpa was part of this one too.
Yeah, exactly. So, you set up the first. You were the first Sierra Leonean to set up a theater company. Am I right? In the USA?
Yes, in the US. Yes, I set up a theater company, Sierra Theater Productions, here in the United States. What actually prompted me was the fact that I wanted to bring our culture, because we have children that are born here to Sierra Leoneans, and all they teach them is, hey, this now make up Pikino, not for touch them. Hey, this no, you're not for doing so, you're not for doing this. So I wanted them to let the children who wants to learn about where their parents come from become interested in what we do.
Sure.
Because we see them all the time sitting in front of the TV, watching other young children, but we are not giving them anything that they can look up to. So that was why I set up this theater company. And the young kids were becoming interested because when they see their kind, their own people doing this, they will tell, Daddy, when are you going to practice? When are you going to rehearsals? Can you take me along?
Oh, that's great.
And one little kid, she just graduated now from university. But in 2010, she asked me the question. We're doing a play, my first play, True Friendship, that was performed at the Kennedy Center for John F. Kennedy Center for Performing Arts in Washington, D.C., one of the biggest theater auditoriums in the world. Janet asked me a question. We were rehearsing, and then she came up to me, Uncle, can I ask you a question? I said, yes, Janet, what is it? I said, is there a village that there are no kids? I know. I was taken aback, just like that. I said, no, there are kids in every village. He said, but in your own village in this play, there are no kids. That was how she got her role. That was how she got her role. So she was casted as one of the kids in the play.
Okay.
You know, so, and we did some other plays at Lee Center for Performing Arts in Virginia. We went to New York and did a play in New York. We during the 50th Independence Anniversary, we did Let Me Die Alone, The Life and Times of Madame Yoko at the Maryland University College. So we have done a lot of plays, and now we're transitioning, even though we still have to be doing plays, but we're transitioning most of this into movies now. Okay.
So you're transitioning them into movies now. That's great. Yeah. How did the pandemic affect your work? I know most of us were affected. Most of us were unfollowed. How did the pandemic affect your work?
Greatly. But we were sent out of our office in Washington, D.C. on March 13th last year. And up till now, we've not gone into the building.
Wow.
Yes. That's how bad it was.
Wow.
So, and we were being reorganized to start working from home.
Yeah.
You know, we have to be reorganized, especially for those of us who do programs. You have to start setting up a studio
at home.
In your home.
Yeah.
So that you start recording and sending remotely, transmitting your program so that it could be aired. So it was not easy, but I'll say, in as much as the pandemic has been very hurtful, but again, there is a blessing on the other side, because most of us got to learn things that we didn't think was possible.
Exactly.
You know, now you can be anywhere in the world and do whatever you want to do.
Yes. Zoom.
Virtually.
Yeah.
You know, so, but very soon we're going back into the building, but the program is still running. So we thank God.
Okay. We as Sierra Leoneans, we have a very rich and diverse culture. Do you think a lot has been done to showcase this to the world through music and and fame?
No.
Why do you say that?
We have not done enough.
Okay. Why do you think we haven't done enough? Yeah.
And we as the people need, first of all, to change our mindset.
Okay.
As Sierra Leoneans, we are not respectful of our culture. We are not even respectful of ourselves, let alone I say our culture. Yeah. We are always bringing ourselves down.
Yeah.
We're always looking down on ourselves. We don't think, Sierra Leoneans don't think any good thing will come out of Sierra Leone. But I tell them, and I want them to look at me as I say this here, that me, my own David Vandy, I am a good thing that has come out of Sierra Leone.
Yes.
So Sierra Leoneans, we don't, our culture, some of them don't, even here, some of them don't even want their children to speak Creole.
Oh.
Yeah.
All my kids speak Creole. All my kids speak Creole.
That's how bad it is. Oh, now America Pekin. Oh, you know for Chocham. Oh, you know for this. Oh, you know for that.
No, that's wrong.
It's the same thing with our music, like we were saying earlier.
Yes.
People, you tell them to play Sierra Leone music. You go to Nigerian parties and Ghanaian parties. Sierra Leoneans go there. They dance to all the Ghanaian and Nigerian songs. Even when they play Afro Juju, they dance to it. But if you play Shagura music or Bubu, they will tell you, ah, what kind of nonsense music they play so? What kind of this? But when they go to this, and when we have our own programs, if we invite these people to come, they'll start telling you, hey, bo, now for talk English, foreigner than I am. Like say when they foreigner then get their own business,
they talk their own language and they talk. They talk their own language, yeah.
And their own language and they talk. They don't even care whether you did it.
No.
And they bring in their own food. But we as Sierra Leoneans, you know, we are so into this kind of culture for caring for people. I think that is the best thing that Sierra Leone have. We care more for outsiders than us. Yeah. We care for other people. We care about them, about what they eat when we invite them to our businesses. But they don't care about what we eat when they invite us to their businesses because they give us their own food. Yeah. Here, Sierra Leoneans will go to a Ghanaian restaurant and eat all the kenke and eat all the eba.
Exactly.
But if you say there's a Sierra Leonean restaurant there, they don't want to go there.
They don't want to go.
You know, so we're always bringing ourselves down. So in that form of spreading our culture, I think we are at the bottom of the ladder.
Yeah, and we make sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go on, sir.
And you know, we don't wake up in the morning and sing praises to our country. Yeah. What Sierra Leoneans do when they wake up in the morning, they rain curses on their country. Ooh. They rain curse on Sierra Leone. Some of them, it is a pity, my brother. I feel so bad sometimes. If you are raining curses on your country and you are doing it on social media that everybody around the world is seeing, how can you stand up tomorrow if this person wants to abuse or say something bad about your country, negative? Can you stand up to that person?
No, you got no legs to stand up. Yeah.
I'm not saying all is rosy in Sierra Leone. I'm not saying that. But I think we, the people, have to change our mindset. If we don't change our mindset, no government can change it for us.
You hear it there from Mr. David Vandy. We need to change our mindset. We have to put our country first. Let's play more of our music at parties. Let's demand that they play more of our music at parties. That's the only way we can put Sierra Leone on the map. You're one of my mentors. I've said this about 10 times today. But what advice?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes. What advice would you give to the viewers out there, including myself, that want to be the next David Vandy or to follow your career footsteps?
Don't be me. I'll tell you for free. Don't
too
be
hard
me.
To be you.
It will be hard. I can never be Melvin.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
I will look at what Melvin is doing and I will admire you.
Okay.
And I will try to follow that trend.
Okay.
But let me do it my own way.
Okay.
And then look up to you as a good example. Yeah. But don't ever try to be me.
Okay.
You understand? Don't be somebody else.
Yes.
Just be yourself. Okay. So when you go out there, you know, I remember when I was doing musical mix, when I left the SLBS, I went to 98.1. The program was lying down for like 2 years. Nobody could do it.
Okay.
So after the war, my younger brother, King Milan, came up to me, "Bro, I want to do this show. This show cannot be lying down." I said, "But you cannot do it like me. So you have to plan it your own way."
Yes.
I will advise you as to what to do.
Yeah.
And today, Milan made musical mix his own, not what David Vandy was doing.
Yeah.
The musical mix that Milan made was his own. And now he's in turn training other people to take care of the program. So you see, he's passing it to the next generation. But that is one thing Sierra Leoneans lack. We don't like to pass on. We are so scared of our profession that we think if I train this next person, the person is going, you will never take my job.
Yes.
I love to train people.
That's the fear most people have. That's the
fear they have.
Yeah.
But me, I don't care. I'm not afraid of anything. I will bring you into my studio, right? I have Vandy Christian Network. I will bring you. I'll tell you, this is what I want us to do. Let's work. You will do it your own way. Tomorrow, when you are big, go and God will bless you. Yeah. But you cannot be me. So I'm not afraid to train anybody. So let us just help people. That's all.
Yeah, that's great. As I was doing my research, David, the deeper I went, the more I came to realize how much you've contributed to the Sierra Leone entertainment industry. You are a giant amongst men. Take it from me. From the little I've researched, I know there are other people who know more than me.
Now I'm getting scared. I don't know where you're going right now.
You are a giant among men. That's why I read somewhere you're Mr. Entertainment. You are the godfather of the Sierra Leone entertainment industry. Thank you for all you've done for Sierra Leone. Thank you for putting us on the map. And it's been an honor to have you on my show. I think you'll have to come back again. This hour went through quickly. You'll have to come back again.
Okay.
You'll have to come back again. And thank you and best of luck for the future.
Well, thank you so very much, Melvin. It's been such a pleasure to be on your platform. And I tell you, it is a great honor for me.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, when your countryman looks at you and tell you you are good, I hold that close to my heart.
Okay.
Because, like, you know, there used to be this phrase in Creole that if Osno sell you, it's not going buy you.
Yes.
Before now, we used to use it for gossip, right? Now, Kongosa will be talking.
Yes, of
course.
But
I turned it around. I say, if Osno sell you, it's not going buy you.
Yes.
If your people don't talk about your goodness, about the things that you've done, the world will not know about you.
Yeah.
So it is your people who have to make sure they push you. It is me now who have to go out and tell people who Melvin Metzger is,
of course.
What the Melvin Metzger show is all about.
Yes.
It's not to go and say, Melvin, let's sit down now because you don't begin make that small show. No, that's not what I'm talking about. You know?
Oh Lord, yeah.
But we have to do it. Now we get for sell with people. Now we are the host. We get for sell with for let's go able for buy with.
Yes.
So that's just my word.
Yeah. Thank you so much, David. And to my viewers, my words of wisdom, let's aspire to inspire others. Thank you for watching and good night all.